Governor Sharif Oborevwori restates support for Police Officers' Wives Association for their humanitarian initiatives. State government reiterates commitment to accelerating inclusive social protection. Federal government reintroduces Nigerian history as a compulsory subject in the basic education curriculum. And abroad, US and Britain signed landmark technology partnership deal. Good evening. Good evening and welcome to the Delta Television main news. I am Great Edoniabo. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. Governor Sharif Oborevwori has commended the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, the POA, for their humanitarian initiatives in support of widows and children of Nigeria's fallen heroes. The governor gave the commendation when he received the president of the POA, Mrs. Ogogo Musa, wife of the Chief of Defense Staff, and a delegation at Government House, Asaba. Ejime Udweme reports.
Governor Oborevwori pledged his administration's support for their programs, saying that the upliftment of families of foreign heroes was a worthy venture. He described Mrs. Musa as a proud daughter of Delta, recalling his long-standing relationship with her family, and expressed delight that she has chosen Asaba as the venue for the POA's empowerment seminar for widows drawn from Delta, Edo, Anambra, and Enugu states. He stressed that the sacrifices of fallen heroes must never be forgotten, adding that the state will continue to champion causes that secure a brighter future for their families.
What we are doing today, it comes with a lot of blessing, and it shows that we have passion for the widows. God will bless you. I want to assure you of our state's full support for this initiative. I look forward to the positive impact they have on their lives.
Earlier, Mrs. Musa said the POA was a coalition of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association, NAOA, Naval Officers' Wives Association, NOAA, Nigerian Air Force Officers' Wives Association, NAFOA, and Police Officers' Wives Association, POA. She explained that the group was founded to support members whose spouses were often away on national duty, has evolved into a platform for humanitarian and development services with widows and orphans of fallen heroes as its main beneficiaries.
The POA was established as a platform for members to provide support and companionship for one another, necessitated by customary long absence of our husbands who perform national duty far away from home.
She also announced the establishment of the DPOA Future Leadership Academy in Abuja, set for commissioning in September 2026, which will provide automatic scholarships for children of fallen heroes as a lasting tribute to their parents' sacrifices. The visit, she noted, was also part of DPOA's ongoing Thank You campaign, a national initiative to celebrate and support Nigeria's armed forces and police personnel for their selfless service to the country. Ejime Udweme reporting.
The State Governor, Right Honorable Sharif Oborevwori, has described education as the cornerstone of any prosperous society. Governor Oborevwori stated this during the donation of books and other writing materials to Iranwe Primary School, Iranwe, in Ogeli North Local Government by a non-governmental organization, Adesua Wadiale Foundation, founded by Dr. Enojare Uwo Wadiale. Pere Botu reports.
The governor, represented by his deputy, Sir Monde Oyeme, emphasized that education is a powerful tool for transforming society. He commended the foundation's Back to School program, noting that the donation would encourage pupils and the wider community. Governor Oborowori highlighted that under the More agenda, the education sector had received significant attention, which included improved infrastructure, employment of teachers, and the provision of teaching aids. He also praised the foundation for sinking a borehole and providing facilities that enhance the cleanliness and safety of the school environment. Governor Oborowori urged the pupils to take full advantage of the generous gift to enhance their educational pursuit and called on all well-meaning individuals, corporate organizations, and community leaders to emulate the gesture of the Adesua Udiale Foundation.
In governance, only very few people understand that the resources cannot do all the work. So when we see foundations, when we see well-meaning people coming to assist by providing some of those things that government are supposed to provide, we feel very, very happy with them.
The Commissioner for Primary Education, Dr. Kingsley Ashibogu, said that the primary education was built on infrastructure, effective teaching and learning by providing good teachers, free health services, and provision of facilities that would help the children to grow.
We want to express our heartfelt gratitude to the founders and the co-founders of this foundation.
The chairman, Delta State Universal Primary Education Board, SUBEB, Honorable Samuel Marere, commended leaders of the community and the teachers of the school for making the community and school orderly, noting that all the school facilities were intact.
Whatever you contribute to the development of this school, you are assisting the government of Delta State.
The founder of the NGO, Dr. Enojare Udiale, in an address read by her husband, Professor Michael Udiale, said that the foundation was determined to improve the quality of education by planting seeds of hope on the children. Earlier, in a brief remark about the foundation, Barrister Pagebi Bariha noted that the Adesua Udiale Foundation was founded by Dr. Enojare Uvo Udiale, a humanitarian, ordained minister, and visionary leader whose life work was devoted to faith, service, and legacy. She noted that together with her husband, Professor Michael Diale, the foundation was in honor of their late daughter, Adesua, adding that through the foundation, thousands of children have received backpacks, school supplies, food, and encouragement to dream again. I am Pere Botu reporting.
The state government has reiterated its commitment to accelerating inclusive social protection efforts aimed at reducing poverty and building economic resilience across the state. Pere Botu reports.
Speaking at a stakeholders dialogue in Asaba, organized by the Ministry of Economic Planning in collaboration with the ACT Niger Consortium, the state deputy governor, Sir Monde Oyeme, said social protection programs played a pivotal role in reducing poverty and fostering inclusive growth. Represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff, Government House, Sir Chris Osakwe, Sir Oyeme noted that Governor Sheriff Oborowori had shown unwavering commitment to supporting vulnerable citizens through robust programs. He noted that the programs included the Delta State Community Action for Resilience and Stimulus, DCARES, which had reached over 247,000 residents, and the Widows Welfare Scheme.
The Delta State Governor, under the leadership of Elder Sheriff Oborowori, has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to supporting vulnerable citizens through various robust social protection programs. This dialogue serves as a platform to chart the pathway for strengthening our social protection system.
Earlier, the Executive Director of the African Network for Environment and Economic Justice, Reverend David Ugolo, commended the state's various social protection programs such as the Agile Project, Artisans Grants, cash transfers, and the Youth and Women Empowerment Initiatives. He stressed the need for a unified, legally backed framework to strengthen these interventions.
So for our project at Niger, we are very happy that what we saw today, that the Delta State government plays a high priority on the issue of social protection. For us, is a welcome development. And we're happy to also hear from the Deputy Governor that they are very committed in building an alliance with civil society, different stakeholders.
In their goodwill messages, the Commissioner for Economic Planning, Mr. Sonny Ekedanya, The Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Aniagu, among others, reaffirmed government's resolve to sustain and expand inclusive social protection through people-centered policies.
Delta State has made significant progress in implementing social protection programs aimed at reducing poverty and vulnerability amongst our people.
Here in Delta, the Oborowori administration is doing a whole lot to ensure that we're able to reach out to these vulnerable groups. Of course, you know the many programs that we're carrying out, whether it's the daycares, the More Bizop program, the Widows Welfare Scheme, and most importantly, the enrollment of these vulnerable groups in contributory health insurance.
The survival of the people is very key, and that is why you see that the Widows program, the care programs, and then the other YAGEB and the rest programs that we're doing is also part of this social protection we're talking about.
The dialogue with the team, accelerating inclusive social protection in Delta State, building stronger systems for poverty reduction and resilience, featured panel discussions and interactive sessions. I am Pere Botu reporting.
1,000 women across Delta State have received business support grants under the Renewed Hope Initiative ROHI in partnership with the Tony Elumelu Foundation and the You Matter Charity Foundation of the Governor's wife, Dickiness Tobore Oborowori. Florence Oyibodoro reports.
The wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, said the initiative was designed to empower women entrepreneurs and small-scale business owners, particularly in the rural areas, to boost economic growth and promote financial independence. The president's wife was represented at the event by the wife of the state governor, Dickiness Tobore Oborowori, who commended the Tony Elumelu Foundation for its support. Senator Tinubu explained that the project was aimed at uplifting women's economic status, promote gender equality, and contribute to national development.
Let me emphasize that this is not a loan. It is a grant and a seed of renewed hope to help you recapitalize your existing businesses. It is my firm belief that when you empower a woman, you empower a household.
The wife of the deputy governor, Ezene Catherine Onyeme, said 500 women receive 50,000 naira each from the ROHI and the Elumelu Foundation, while another 500 women benefited 50,000 naira each from the You Matter Charity Foundation.
I also applaud the Tony Elumelu Foundation, the Delta State government, and all other partners who have joined hands to make this initiative possible. By pooling resources together, you are strengthening the very backbone of our state's economy, the hard-working women of Delta State.
In a goodwill message, the special advisor to the governor on women development, Chief Eunice Anira, described the initiative as a boost to small businesses that will improve the state's economic fortunes.
We are confident that things will get better, and in Delta State, we shall have a glorious tomorrow.
Some dignitaries commended Senator Tinubu and Dickiness Tobore Oborowori for the gesture, while beneficiaries expressed gratitude and pledged to put the funds to judicious use. Highlight of the occasion was the distribution of the Renewed Hope Initiative notebooks to the 25 local government areas in the state.
Through the collaborative effort of the Renewed Hope Initiative and Tony Elumelu Foundation, in partnership with the You Matter Charity Foundation, Delta women have been empowered to drive economic growth and achieve financial independence. Florence Oyibodoro reporting.
The wife of the state governor and founder of the You Matter Charity Foundation, Dickiness Tobore Oborowori, has pledged her support to the World Union of Catholic Women in their mission to empower vulnerable women. Dickiness Oborowori gave the assurance when she received members of the union, led by Dr. Christy Akako, on a courtesy visit to Government House, Asaba. Florence Oyibodoro reports.
Deaconess Oborewori commended the vision of the women, stressing that it aligned with her foundation's mandate of empowering women and supporting the vulnerable. The governor's wife promised to collaborate with the union in actualizing their goals, even as she urged them to always pray for the success of the present administration and remain committed to their families.
Please stand for us in prayer. Support the governor, whichever way you can. We need prayers. We need your support.
Earlier, the delegation explained that the organization was committed to supporting stigmatized women and survival of human trafficking. They solicited the moral and financial support of the governor's wife for their plans to build homes and provide skills to aid their reintegration into society.
Just after inauguration, only less than 2 years, the government have recorded the best achievements no one has ever recorded in history.
The highlight of the visit was the decoration of the governor's wife with the organization's muffler, signaling a potential partnership that will further advance the empowerment of women in line with the moral agenda of the present administration. Florence Oibodoro reporting.
As part of deliberate efforts to showcase the rich cultural heritage of the people, the Delta State Ministry of Culture and Tourism successfully organized the second edition of its annual flagship program, Rhythm of Delta, with a theme, an expression of identity and heritage. The event, which was held at the amphitheater of the Miriam Babangida Leisure Park and Film Village, Asaba, attracted notable stakeholders from different sectors of society. Pere Botu completes the report.
In a thrilling welcome dance, the award-winning Delta State Cultural Troupe staged a breathtaking performance that showcased the rich culture and ethnic diversity of the state. Their presentation, which fused the unique dance steps of the 5 ethnic groups in Delta, held the audience spellbound and drew thunderous applause. The Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Mr. Darlington Ije, in his remarks commended the State Governor, the Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori, for his visionary efforts in repositioning the cultural sector for maximum productivity and sustainable growth. He stressed that the present administration remains resolute in projecting Delta's unique cultural heritage through innovative programs in line with the forward-looking policy of Delta Beyond Oil.
This second edition showcased is an improved one of the initial edition that we did, the median edition. And this time we're going through the local aspect part of it now to be able to showcase our cultural heritage.
Delivering a lecture titled Rhythm of Delta, Expression of Identity and Heritage, Chief Linus Osemene highlighted the depth of Delta's cultural identity as reflected in its dance, dressing, cuisine, language, and numerous landmark tourist sites spread across the state. The event also featured a captivating drama sketch titled The Plague by Dr. Moses Mokoro, which underscored the moral decadence in today's society, where some parents encourage their children to pursue fraudulent means of making money, thereby eroding faith in dignity of labor and diminishing respect for family values. In another colorful display, various ethnic groups treat the audience with their traditional dances, including the Ife Shukuku Dance Group, the Aguba Royal Dance Group of Ubuluno, the Omoko Dance Group representing the Chekiri, and the Uje Dance Group of Udu. Adding further excitement, the famous Okpanam Wonder, a masquerade that emerged from a wooden box, danced to traditional rhythms, delighted spectators as it lifted itself high in sync with the beats of the drums. The event also featured a guided tour of the exhibition stand showcasing Delta's diverse cuisine and artistic creations and clothing attire. I am Pere Botu reporting.
Civil servants have continued to react to the recent circular on dress code for civil servants and others in the public service. Our news crew, which saw the opinion of a cross-section of civil servants, reports that most workers expressed support for the government's insistence on a proper dress code. Blessing Efegoma reports.
The workers noted that corporate dressing had been the standard in the civil service but had been neglected in recent times. They commended the government for reintroducing the policy, stressing that while casual wear might be acceptable for field work, corporate attire should remain compulsory in the office. The people described the policy as a step in the right direction, saying corporate dressing was the identity of every professional organization and that evil traders now dressed decently. While urging civil servants to do the same, it enhanced the image of the service.
It has been the system of the public service and the civil service system of dressing. I, for myself, from the beginning, I like dressing. But over some time, it's like they threw that dress code into trash can. So it's a good commendation.
Being properly dressed is what brings you out and make people respect you, especially when they approach you as a human being. First of all, before coming into your organization or the office you are representing.
The civil service as a sector represents a good number of the government image, and as such they have to present themselves in a way that the society will see them as exemplary.
Some traders will say they are really dressing them. You see them, they will be happy with them, you patronize them. On top of it, that are civil servants, it's good to dress properly, honestly speaking.
Others observed that corporate dressing was cost-saving and decent. They emphasized that the civil service represented the image of government and that enforcing a dress code would bring sanity to the system, even as they stressed that civil servants must lead by example in both appearance and conduct. The respondents maintained that the policy would eliminate indecent dressing among officers and ensure uniformity, while driving workers to dress in a manner befitting their roles.
Normally, as we were growing as children, civil servants used to dress corporate, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It saves you money from buying a lot of clothes.
So this new dress code is going to change the attitude of civil servants. We're able to dress well as it used to be.
It's a good thing, I must tell you, that we need to dress properly as civil servants.
Blessing Efegoma reporting.
The state government will be joining the global community to celebrate the 2025 International Day of Peace. The event is billed for Sunday, 21st September 2025, and will hold at the Unity Hall Government House Annex, Ejeba, Warri, at 7:30 in the morning. Activities scheduled as part of the celebration through the Warri metropolis, symbolizing unity, public commitment to peace, lectures on peace building, and the signing of a peace pledge. A statement by the Director of Public Communication and Functioning Permanent Secretary, Harold Orji, says participants expected at the event include youth and women groups, traditional rulers, religious leaders, non-governmental organizations, representatives of the government. To this end, traditional rulers, security leaders, NGOs, civil society groups, youth and women groups, and faith-based organizations are invited to join hands with the Delta State government to promote and champion the cause of peace across communities in Delta State. The federal government says it has disbursed $330 billion to poor and vulnerable households across the country under its renewed social protection program. Finance Minister and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wole Edun, announced this in Abuja on Wednesday. Mr. Edun explained that the intervention is part of measures to cushion the hardship arising from fuel subsidy removal and currency reforms. He noted that 8.5 million households have so far received payments out of a target of 15 million. According to him, Beneficiaries are entitled to 3 tranches of 25,000 naira each, with some households already receiving all payments. He stressed that the program, supported by an $800 million World Bank facility, now forms the basis of a modern social protection system for Nigeria. Head of the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office, Funmi Olotu, said the adoption of NIN-linked digital transfers is to ensure transparency and eliminate political sabotage. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has again called for greater understanding among nations to avoid war and armed conflicts. Senator Tinubu made the call while hosting the Qatari ambassador to Nigeria, Ali bin Ghanem Al Hajri, at her office in Abuja. She condemned the recent attack in Doha, stressing that peace remains a divine principle across all religions and central to humanity's survival. She said mutual respect and dialogue are the only path to global stability. Ambassador Al-Hajri expressed appreciation for Nigeria's solidarity and restated Qatar's commitment to deepening development. The meeting also explored areas of collaboration between the Renewed Hope Initiative and the Qatar Foundation, focusing on Al-Majiri education and reducing the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria. The federal government has reintroduced Nigerian history as a compulsory subject in the basic education curriculum. The Federal Ministry of Education, in a statement on its official X handle, said the decision was taken to strengthen national identity, unity, patriotism, and responsible citizenship among young Nigerians. According to the ministry, pupils from primary 1 to 6 will study Nigeria's origins, heroes, rulers, culture, politics, economy, religions, colonial rule, and post-independence governance. Junior secondary students will focus on civilizations, empires, trade, European contacts, amalgamation, independence, democracy, and civic values. At the senior secondary level, civic and heritage studies will now integrate history with civic education. Teachers are to be retrained, resources provided, and monitoring strengthened for effective implementation. History was first removed from the curriculum in 2009, but reintroduction efforts began in 2017. By 2022, teacher training had commenced to pave way for its full return. The federal government says it is set to overhaul justice service delivery in Nigeria through the use of digital technology. The Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, announced this at the 2025 Justice Sector Leadership Retreat in Maiduguri. Mr. Fagbemi said the Tinubu administration is committed to deploying innovation, technology, and coordinated reforms to strengthen justice delivery across the country. He noted that Borno State, under the leadership of Governor Babagana Zulum, has already taken the lead with the launch of e-Justice project in partnership with Law Pavilion. According to him, tools such as case management systems, e-libraries, and electronic mail tracking for legal processes have enhanced efficiency and transparency in judicial service delivery in Borno State. The Attorney General further emphasized the need to update legal frameworks to support innovation and to invest in digital literacy, cybersecurity, and data management for legal professionals. The Edo State government has rescued a 27-year-old indigene, Mr. Gostam Owogire, who was reportedly paralyzed after being poisoned by friends in Burkina Faso. Mr. Owogire arrived at the Benin airport in company of the Director General of the Edo State Migration Agency, Mr. Lucky Agazuma, and other officials. He was immediately taken in an ambulance to the Edo Specialist Hospital, Benin City, for urgent medical care. Speaking to newsmen, Mr. Agazuma explained that Governor Monday Okpebholo directed the agency to repatriate the victim after learning of his condition. but the rescue was delayed for 4 months due to lack of cooperation from the family. The victim's mother, Mr. Susan Wogere, thanked the state government for the intervention, saying the family had been in distress since losing contact with him several months ago. In recent weeks, the Edo State Migration Agency has also rescued other indigents, including a young lady trafficked to Mali and 2 minors intercepted in Kaduna while being trafficked to Libya. The sole administrator of Rivers State, retired Rear Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, has formally handed over power to Governor Siminalayi Fubara, declaring that law and order had been restored in the state. Mr. Ibas, who was appointed by President Bola Tinubu 6 months ago to stabilize the state during political turmoil, said his administration recorded key milestones, including the conduct of local government elections, reconstitution of statutory boards, and the passage of the state budget by the National Assembly. He warned that the abuse of power could cripple institutions, while political rivalry without dialogue posed a danger to democracy. He stressed that the strength of democracy depended on how differences were managed rather than on who won or lost. The retired naval chief thanked President Tinubu for the opportunity and commended security agencies for maintaining peace and praised the resilience of Rivers people. He urged citizens to support Governor Fubara, noting that leadership and followership remained a shared responsibility. President Tinubu had declared a state of emergency in Rivers and appointed Mr. Ibas as sole administrator. The emergency was lifted yesterday, paving the way for the full return of democratic governance in the state. The Bauchi state government has set up a cholera steering and technical committee to coordinate emergency response and prefer long-term solutions to the outbreak that has claimed several lives in the state. Inaugurating the committee in Bauchi, the Deputy Governor, Mr. Awal Jato, described cholera as a serious public health threat requiring urgent attention. He explained that the committee will strengthen surveillance, ensure early detection, and provide rapid response to save lives, stressing that cholera can be prevented when stakeholders act on time, work together, and improve water, sanitation, and hygiene. The Deputy Governor further noted that members were carefully selected based on expertise and charged them to carry out the assignment with commitment. He also assured health partners of government's full support to guarantee the success of the committee. On his part, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Sani Dambam, who chairs the technical committee, reaffirmed that members will work collectively to deliver on their mandates. The State Police Command has arrested 2 suspected armed robbers believed to be members of a gang notorious for attacking churches across the state. Police Public Relations Officer Mr. Bright Edafe confirmed that the suspects were nabbed on Tuesday following credible intelligence. According to him, officers from the Ogwashuku Division, led by Divisional Police Officer CSP Israel Okomoyon, intercepted a gold-colored Toyota Sienna space van with registration number EFR 150XB near Dominican City Church along Polytechnic Road by Stickers Hotel. The suspects, identified as 21-year-old Emmanuel Emiowo and 20-year-old Noah Philip, both residents of PTI Road, Warri, were arrested with a pump-action gun, 3 single-barrel locally made guns, a fabricated revolver, 1 live cartridge, and an iron rod suspected to be used for breaking into churches. Mr. Edafe said the suspects confessed to belonging to a syndicate that specializes in breaking into churches at night to cart away musical instruments and other valuables. He noted that some stolen items have already been recovered, while efforts are ongoing to arrest other members of the gang. Commissioner of Police, Mr. Olufemi Abani Wanda, who commended the prompt response of the officers and the assistance of vigilante groups, directed sustained intelligence-led operations, stressing that Delta State would never be allowed to become a safe haven for criminals. The National Industrial Court in Abuja has issued an interim injunction restraining The Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers (NUPENG) and the Direct Trucking Company Drivers Association from embarking on any industrial action. The court order also stopped the unions from compelling other truck drivers to participate in their planned strike or from blocking Nigerian roads. Justice Idi Subilim, who granted the injunction, ruled after hearing a motion ex parte filed by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. George Ibrahim, counsel to Dangote Refinery. The injunction further barred NUPENG and its affiliates from frustrating or shutting down the operations of Dangote Refinery, MROS Oil Nigeria Limited, and MROS Oil and Gas Company Limited. Justice Sublim explained that irreparable damage could occur to Dangote Refinery if the order was not granted. Still to come, US and Britain signed landmark technology partnership deal. The global scene is next as we join our World News desk.
US President Donald Trump and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer today signed a landmark technology partnership aimed at boosting cooperation in artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and nuclear energy. The deal was unveiled at Chequers, the Prime Minister's country residence, during President Trump's state visit to the United Kingdom. Prime Minister Starmer hailed the agreement as the biggest investment package of its kind in British history, describing it as groundbreaking. As part of the pact, American tech companies and financial groups have pledged a combined £150 billion in investments across Britain over the coming years. Saudi Arabia and nuclear-armed Pakistan have signed a mutual defense pact, significantly boosting a decades-old security partnership. The agreement was sealed late yesterday, just a week after Israel's strikes on Qatar unsettled the diplomatic balance in the region. The deal underscores growing concerns among Gulf states about the reliability of the United States as a long-term security guarantor. Asked whether the pact obliged Pakistan to extend a nuclear umbrella over the kingdom, a senior Saudi official said it is a comprehensive defensive agreement encompassing all military means. Pakistan, the only Muslim-majority nation with nuclear weapons and home to the Islamic world's largest army, insists its arsenal remains a deterrent against neighboring India. Saudi officials, however, stressed the pact was not a reaction to specific events, but the outcome of years of negotiations aimed at institutionalizing deep cooperation between both countries. India has issued a health alert after cases of a rare and deadly waterborne infection known as the brain-eating amoeba doubled in the southern state of Kerala. Health officials report 72 infections and 19 deaths this year, compared to 36 cases and 9 deaths last year. Alarmingly, September alone accounted for 9 deaths and 24 infections. The amoeba, Naegleria fowleri, thrives in warm lakes and rivers. It infects people when contaminated water enters the nose, attacking the brain and destroying tissue. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control warns the infection is almost fatal, with a death rate of about 95%. Symptoms begin with headache, fever, and vomiting, but can quickly progress to seizure, hallucinations, and coma, according to the World Health Organization. Dr. Ataf Ali, part of Kerala's government task force, says large-scale testing is underway. He added that unlike in the past, new cases are emerging across the state, not just in isolated pockets. Since it was first identified in 1962, fewer than 500 cases have been reported worldwide, mostly in the United States, India, Pakistan, and Australia.
The State Direct Labor Agency has held a retirement party in honor of 26 staff members who served the agency diligently over the years. The ceremony, which took place at the Olorugun Felix Hebrew Hall, Asaba, was attended by management staff, colleagues, family members, and friends of the retirees. Henry Onogwa reports.
Declaring the event open, the Director General of the agency, Chief Emmanuel Igomena, described the retirees as worthy ambassadors whose contributions helped advance infrastructural development in the state. He encouraged serving staff to emulate their hard work and assured that the agency will continue to prioritize staff welfare and professional growth.
Retirement is a time of great change, a start of a new chapter for our 26 retirees. I thank you for devoting your quality years to the service of the and the agency as leaders.
Goodwill messages were delivered by Director North in the agency, represented by Engineer Lawrence Ejiofor, the organizing committee chairman, and others who praised the retirees for their sacrifice and described them as pillars of the agency. The speakers prayed for them to enjoy long life, good health, and peace of mind.
All of us should endeavor to make that sacrifice to come out, to also join and be part of the celebration.
We have great plans for this agency. We are building a site at Owerugbe. The overall plan is already working. Many other jobs are coming. If you guys are not doing for us, we will not be able to achieve all these things.
Don't just retire and just sit down. Retirement is not a graveyard. You need to put that knowledge back again. Who will go? We will go, but we will remain. And whatsoever this sport, being led by our capacity that is here we are doing today, is for you people.
Some of the retirees, including Engineer Kenneth Ijomo, expressed gratitude to the state government and the agency management for the recognition, noting that the honor gave them a sense of fulfillment. They urged serving staff to remain committed, stressing that diligence always attracts reward.
I thank God for making me to be a part of this. I rejoice with them, I dance with them. They enjoy all the favor, all the things that they present to us. They give us gift, appreciate.
To really thank the DG, the Director General of the Direct Labor Agency, for what he has done. Because we didn't expect such a thing. But what the man did is so wonderful.
I feel very happy to see my fellow retirees all in sunbelts, and this is a very joyous occasion for all of us.
The high point of the occasion was the presentation of packs to the 26 retirees, alongside entertainment by staff members. The event ended on a colorful note. Henry Onogwa reporting.
Let's now join our business news desk for happenings in the business sector.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has directed that all banks and other financial institutions classified as domestic systematically import banks, DSIBs, to obtain regulatory approval before appointing successor, managing director, or chief executive officers. According to the Apex Bank, such approval must be secured no later than 6 months before the expiration of the tenure of the incumbent. It further directed that the appointment of a successor must be made public not later than 3 months before the planned exit of the sitting chief executive. In a circular signed by the Director of the Financial Policy and Regulation Department, Dr. Rita Sike, the CBN explained that the measure was in line with Section 214 of the Corporate Governance Guideline for Commercial, Merchant, Non-Interest, and Payment Service Banks in Nigeria 2023. The bank noted that the directive is aimed at maximizing disruption, reducing risk linked with abrupt leadership changes, and ensuring incoming executives have sufficient time to prepare for their roles. Industry watchers say the measure will strengthen governance structure, improve transparency, and reinforce the CBN oversight role, particularly in DSIBS, described as too big to fall, whose collapse could destabilize the wider financial system. The Ministry of Finance Incorporated has revealed that Nigeria imported more than 560,000 metric tons of fertilizer raw materials in 2025 as part of the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative. The development, according to the agency, demonstrates government's commitment to ensuring steady access to agricultural inputs. In a statement yesterday, Murphy disclosed that at least 10 vessels had already discharged or were built to discharge fertilizer cargoes at Nigeria ports this year. It explained that the inflow of raw material is strengthening local productions and guaranteeing stability across the fertilizer value chain. The agency noted that from 2022 to date, 48 vessels had delivered raw material for blending under the PFI, with the 2025 figure already surpassing those of 2024. It said the initiative aligned with President Bola Tinubu's food sovereignty agenda, assuring farmers of consistent supply and resilience in the system.
Let's now join Jude Agbayeke for sports.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Sports News. Delta State will continue to partner with the private sector towards enhancing sports and youth development in the state. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori stated this while kicking off the 9th edition of the Delta State Zenith Bank Principals Cup, which held at the football pitch of St. Patrick's College at Seba. The report. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Kingsley Emo, said the state had sustained its aspirations to remain the leading sports state in Nigeria, and the state's partnership with Zenith Bank had been sustained because it aligned with the government's objective, which is youth development and empowerment. The governor averred that the Delta State Zenith Bank Principals Cup had continued to become the platform for the discovery of young footballers in the state and lauded the bank for its strong support, saying the government was keen on strengthening the bond further as it joined the bank to see ways of building a football academy in the state, as it will be a veritable platform for harnessing the immense talents in Delta State.
And I'm glad that Zenith Bank, in collaboration with Delta State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, have consistently organized this football tournament, which is a veritable breeding ground for future stars.
The Commissioner for Secondary Education, Mrs. Rose Ezewu, in her welcome address, said the competition had become the bedrock for talent discovery as well as platform for a healthy competition among schools in Delta State, which had helped in the discovery of young talents as well as giving the young people a chance to showcase their talents to the world. Mrs. Ezewu said the competition had become a model in Nigeria, stressing that the state government and Zenith Bank's investment in the competition had continued to yield fruits, as several of the players discovered were already plying the trades in Europe and other parts of the world. The Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Zenith Bank, Dame Adora Umoji, represented by the Regional Manager and Zonal Head, Delta State, Dr. Ifeanyi Atama, averred that the bank was committed to sustaining its partnership with Delta State as it had continued to provide young people in the state with the privileges of becoming future stars. Dame Umoji said the bank was excited because football helped in shaping leaders of the future as it teaches discipline, resilience, and teamwork, virtues needed for success.
Our sponsorship is one of corporate social responsibility. It's an investment in the future of our community and its generation
of leaders. This tournament has provided a platform for many talented individuals.
Meanwhile, the opening match saw Omu Boys Secondary School in Buzo, Oshimili North local government, playing out the 2-2 draw with Zappa Basic Secondary School, Asaba, Oshimili South local government, after trailing 2-1 in the first half. Omu Boys Secondary School had open scoring in the 15th minute after skillful striker Patrick Favour's long-range shot from the central half left Bernard Eriga in goal for Zappa Basic in limbo. The Asaba school, however, drew level after Jude Patrick Okolutu bundled home a spilled shot to pull inside level in the 40th minute before slipping the ball beyond Eriga in the 43rd minute to give Zappa Basic the lead. An own goal after a goalmouth scramble saw Omu Boys pulling level in the 80th minute as both sides shared the spoils. Jude Agbayeke reporting. The federal government has reiterated its commitment to hosting the 2030 Commonwealth Games as officials from the Commonwealth Sport Bid Evaluation Committee arrived in Abuja for an special visit. In a significant step forward for Nigeria's bid to host Africa's first ever Commonwealth Games, National Sports Commission NSC Chairman Shehu Diko and Director General Bukola Olopade welcomed the visiting delegation, emphasizing Nigeria's readiness and ambition to stage the prestigious event. Speaking during the delegation's visit, Diko underscored President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's unwavering support for the bid, describing it as a historic opportunity for both Nigeria and the African continent. He said hosting the 2030 Games would not only mark a milestone for Nigeria, but also demonstrate the growing influence in global sports. Diko added that the delegation's presence in Nigeria underscored the country's determination to meet international expectations and showcase its readiness through available infrastructure and political will. The Visiting Evaluation Committee is led by Darren Hall, Director of Games and Assurance at Commonwealth Sport, and a member of the 2030 Evaluation Committee. All the members of the delegation include Anne-Louise Morgan, Director of Sport, and Ezra Shabongu, Regional Development Manager of Africa and Europe. Meanwhile, the Chief of Staff to the President, Honorable Femi Gbadabiamila, also hosted the delegation at the presidential villa on behalf of President Tinubu to demonstrate the federal government's high-level engagement. The meeting was attended by several Federal Executive Council members, including the Ministers of Youth, Culture and Creative Economy, Women Affairs and Environment, as well as the Chairman of the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission. The visit forms part of the official evaluation process as the Commonwealth Games Federation assessed Nigeria's readiness and capability to host the multi-sport event. If successful, Nigeria would become the first African nation to stage the Games in the event's 90-plus year history. Portuguese club side Benfica have appointed Jose Mourinho as the manager on the deal until the summer of 2027. Mourinho, 62, succeeds Bruno Lage, who was sacked after the shock Champions League defeat against Karabakh on Tuesday. The former Chelsea boss returns to management less than a month after being dismissed by Fenerbahce following a Champions League playoff defeat by his new club, Benfica. Mourinho began his managerial career with Benfica in 2000, but took charge of only 10 games and left following a dispute with the club president. His new deal at Benfica includes an option for the club and Mourinho to decide not to continue for another season up to 10 days after the end of the 2025-2026 campaign. Lage was sacked despite losing just one game across all competitions this season, and Mourinho inherits a side that sits sixth in the Premier Liga, 5 points adrift of leaders Porto, but with a game in hand. His first game back at the Lisbon-based club is on Saturday when they travel to 17th place AVS. The Portuguese, who famously gave himself the moniker The Special One in 2004, returns to Stamford Bridge to face Chelsea in the Champions League on 30 September. That's sports news. Great returns shortly.
And a thought for the day: truth is like oil. No matter how much water you pour on it, it will always float. To end the news, here are the highlights. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has commended the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, the POA, for their humanitarian initiatives in support of widows and children of Nigeria's fallen heroes. The governor gave the commendation when he received the president of the POA, Mrs. Ogogo Musa, wife of the Chief of Defense Staff, and a delegation at Government House, Asaba. The Delta State government has reiterated its commitment to accelerating inclusive social protection efforts aimed at reducing poverty and building economic resilience across the state. We brought to you also that the federal government has reintroduced Nigerian history as a compulsory subject in the basic education curriculum. The Federal Minister of Education, in a statement in his official X handle, said the decision was taken to strengthen national identity, unity, patriotism, and responsible citizenship among young Nigerians. And abroad, US and Britain signed landmark technology partnership deal. You can also follow our newsline on Facebook at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba and on YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbs.com. Thanks for joining us on the news tonight. I'm Great Edoniabo. Good night and God bless you.